Hi, my name's Caden Coasley, and today we're gonna be talking about Western wheatgrass and its relation to the four pillars of the environment. Western wheatgrass is part of the grass family. With its relations to plants, its life cycle is a creeping perennial. It has rhizomes much like quackgrass. It is long-lived with an extensive, very strong rhizome root system combined with a few deep roots. Stems arise singly or in small clusters and grow from 1 to 3 feet tall. The sheaths are hairy and purplish auricles are claw-like and clasp the stem much like a barley plant. This plant looks much like a wheat plant, but with a bluish color. It is also called blue stem wheatgrass due to its blue stem. It's a cool season perennial. Likes the cold. Here's an illustration of what it looks like. Kind of like a wheat plant, but not as much detail to the head. Yeah, so that sums up the plants. Onto the land.
Hi, I'm Sukhneet and I'm going to talk about the land. Land consists of many different kinds of soils and rocks in the presentation. We will be focusing on soil in this presentation. Soil is very important for the plants as it contains important nutrients which helps plants to grow. Soil is formed when erosive pressure breaks the rocks into and crushes into tiny pieces. This process takes a lot of time, more than decades. Also, Western wheatgrass is very high tolerant to saline soil. Now coming on to the how is land related to other pillars. Soil is a medium of plant growth. It has water and nutrients stored in it that is used by the plants for their growth and development. The dead plants, leaves, etc. on decaying provides the organic matter to the soil. The organic matter is enriched in nutrients and improves the soil structure, texture, and also the water holding capacity. After that, animals on grazing exposes the soil to wind, water, and topsoil get eroded, leaving the land bare. After that, excess of water in form of flood erodes the soil on the banks of the river. The vegetation on the bank holds the soil together to prevent the soil erosion. Also, there are so many animals such as snakes, rabbits, earthworms, as snakes, etc., that resides in the soil. Now, coming on to the water part.
Well, this is Colby speaking. Most obviously, way water relates to Western wheatgrass is that it needs it to grow. Plants' long fibrous roots help hold down soil to prevent erosion resulting from heavy rainfall. Not only that, it's also a very drought-tolerant plant, which means it will still be a reliable food source for livestock even during dry years. It also helps to retain moisture in soil for long periods of time. So all in all, it really just keeps the soil healthy no matter what conditions you have.
Hi, just Cole speaking. I'm going to look at the agriculture as well as the animals in this project. So with the agriculture, Western wheatgrass has gained a lot of steam in the ag industry. This grass has many environmental and economic benefits, such as helping to store water and carbon in the soil. This grass can also serve as a dual use crop for both grain and forage use. Mixing this grass seed with legumes can increase the yield as well as other economic benefits. This perennial crop can also help improve the overall sustainability of the agriculture production you are working with. Additionally, this grass has not been approved for herbicides or pesticides, therefore potentially making it more appealing to organic growers. Animals. So Western wheatgrass is palatable to all livestock as well as abundance of wildlife such as deer, elk, moose. The wildlife depends on this grass over the winter to keep their energy level as well as their nutritional value up. This grass is a desired feed for cattle and farmers in the spring since it's a very high in protein and nutrition value. Western wheatgrass is a very good source of hay for the cattle. Being a perennial crop, it can regenerate on its own once it's been planted. Therefore, this grass has been seen mostly on pasture land as it can withstand heavy grazing, which can also help prevent soil erosion. Additionally, this grass can be a good source of feed for small wildlife and birds as well. Also, good habitat for pollinators, and pollinators are essential to producing a good crop. So, if you have good habitat for them and around your farm, that can hopefully help the sustainability of your agriculture production.
Okay, and on to the technology of this plant. There's a long list of genetically modified types of this crop due to the new technology we have today. Walsh Western wheatgrass is one type from Lethbridge, Alberta, that was mainly developed for rhizome development, freedom from disease, and improved forage and seed yields.
My technology piece, I'm just going to talk a little bit on the forage mixtures that I mentioned earlier. Producers and farmers are always trying to work with new technologies to make their overall production better. Like I mentioned before, mixing this grass seed with legumes can increase yield as well as other economic benefits. There's been a lot of work put into mixing these forages and the grass seed, and with all the data and the results they rely back, they're going to use that to hopefully um, get all their insight and hopefully get this plant to be able to produce maybe like a wheat plant one day.
The land and technology both are correlated as we use mobile applications which gave us meaningful and useful data for that particular region of field. Apps like Field View, AgriMaps, etc. Like in AgriMaps, we can find the topography, soil erosion, and many more things by sitting in one place.
Alrighty, and that sums up our presentation on Western wheatgrass. Thank you very much.